Okay, DC FANDOME released a whole bunch of stuff all at once, and not all of it is that interesting. The Black Adam trailer was a whole lot of nothing. The Flash trailer was basically, look everybody, Batman! Because Ezra Miller's Flash ain't putting butts in any seats, so let's do the one people are actually interested in. The first trailer for The Batman looked promising, but I still don't know what it's about really. Riddler, Catwoman, Penguin's in there too, I guess, but what's the story? Beats me. All I've been hearing about this thing are rumors of the problems. Pattinson being a nightmare to work with, Matt Reeves being at his wit's end, delay, and I'm sure some of that's BS, but who knows what's gonna happen here, what this thing is gonna look like. I still care more about this than the other stuff, though. Let's watch. And forget I said that. The copyright bots have decreed that I cannot play the trailer because fair use is just not a thing anymore. I tried re-editing several times, no luck, so we're looking at stills instead. I'm sorry, it's the best I can do. And now, back to the video. Okay, cool trailer, but I still don't know what the story is. It kinda seems like they don't either. You're hard-pressed to find a narrative here. The whole thing is just a bunch of random stuff. Riddler exists. Penguin talks like some low-level wannabe New York tough guy. Catwoman changes her hair. And Alfred whispers the words, "Dear God!" It's cool, but it doesn't tell us a whole lot. Otherwise, they're just showing us the cool shots and the action beats and stuff. And that I like. I think it's great that they've got a grounded approach to all this. I mean, after all the insane stuff that Snyder did, taking a page from Nolan's book and basing everything in reality and not trying to get too fancy with it is gonna be a nice change of pace. I'm in the mood for a back-to-basics Batman flick. It's kinda crazy that in all the movies that have been made, we've never really had one about Batman being a detective. They always turn into action spectacles, and that's fine if that's what you're into, but there's more to the character than that. And I like the idea of making this an intimate detective story. That's what I hope this movie is. Don't try to cram 7 movies worth of story into one. Don't try to set up a million different sequels and spin-offs. Just keep it nice and simple. Riddler playing mind games and the Dark Knight detective trying to solve a mystery. And hey, look at this. Actual detective work. Bruce looking for patterns, trying to piece together clues. Sins of My Father is interesting. Could be the plot ties into Thomas Wayne somehow. Maybe the Riddler turned to crime because he got screwed over by something Thomas Wayne did potentially. Alright, the jury's still out on Pattinson, but his Batman voice sounds good. I didn't hate the Bale voice, and Affleck's was tough to judge since he was using a voice changer, but Pattinson has given me Michael Keaton vibes here. Like not being too gravelly, just talking in a really low register, not trying to destroy his vocal cords, just sounding very dark and mysterious, like a creature of the night who lurks in the shadows, which is something Batman should be. Speaking of voices though, I don't know about this take on Penguin. He's coming off more like some meat-headed thug and the accent doesn't really help. I heard the movie is kind of an origin for Penguin, so maybe that's the point? Maybe he starts that way and then decides to rebrand himself as some hoity-toity high society type? Man, I cannot believe this is Colin Farrell. I don't know if that's makeup or facial prosthetics or what, but the dude is unrecognizable. It's hard to judge much of anything with Catwoman right now. They show us a couple different looks, but not a single good shot of her in the costume. You couldn't show her in the mask one time? Come on. They do seem to have the dynamic right, though. There's this intense connection, but also an element of danger where they can't really trust each other, so they're always coming together and then splitting apart. You have to take a lot of it at face value because they don't really show you that much, but I like what I'm seeing so far. Looks like they nailed it. You know, the action in this thing is really refreshing. Again, not getting too fancy like with the Snyder movies where Batman was flipping and flying all over the place, destroying 10 thugs at once, dodging heat vision with buildings getting demolished left and right. If you love the spectacle, I'm sure you're entertained by all that stuff, but it can be fatiguing after a while. And what have we got here? Batman punches a dude, fights 2 guys with guns in the dark, drives through a big wall of fire, jumps off a couple buildings and swings away. It all feels down to earth, rooted in reality. It's the Anti-Snyder Approach. and that sounds good to me. Look at this. This whole fight scene is just static shots in the dark with the only lighting coming from the machine gun fire, and it's the most badass thing in the whole trailer. You don't need to go nuts with everything as long as you've got creativity, and I'm seeing a lot of that here, so I feel optimistic about this right now. Okay, I really like this. There's a lot of good stuff here. I just want more information because it's still hard to tell what's going on. You've got characters commenting on how if Bruce keeps going, it's not going to end well for him. Bruce doesn't care if it does. Riddler wants him dead. He gets blown up. Then Alfred and Selina looking horrified, so maybe part of the story is people thinking Batman is dead, but then he comes back? Yeah, I'm just making educated guesses here, but you can't tell a whole lot from this. Most of it is just, look at our cool shots, look at our awesome cinematography, and credit to him, it looks gorgeous. I'm just not sure what's happening yet. On-set drama aside, the Batman looks really cool right now. My excitement is growing. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Ding the bell icon and follow my social media to always be notified when I upload new stuff. I also have a live streaming channel, which I promise I'm going to add more stuff to as soon as YouTube stops being a jerk about it. The links are all down below, and don't forget to thumbs up the video, share, subscribe, make sure you're still subscribed, and I'll be back with more soon. So stay tuned for that, do all the YouTube things, and I'll see you next time.